Sunday, which means time for a bath. Come on. He's gonna make me drag him in there, and then once he gets in there, he's gonna like it. Come on, let's go. Go. Go, go. Oh, all right, go. Okay. This will be interesting. He's in this corner. You're gonna like it, pup. You always like the baths. Come on. Here. Ugh. You are so strong, pup. The strong boy. Yeah, boy. Wait. Whew. Hey, don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. Hello, today's Monday. Yesterday was Sunday. I was super productive. I washed Atlas, washed all of Atlas's sheets, washed all my clothes, cleaned the apartment, like top down. And then, what did I do? I had breakfast burgers, which is like hash brown, egg, bacon, and burger. And then, what else did I do? Watched the Kansas City game, then relaxed with Atlas. Prepared for Monday. I had a really, really good sleep schedule, like super, super disciplined this weekend, so I got tons of rest and recovered super well. I also got this package from Adidas. Socks and a shirt that I'm gonna return. Nice. Well, gonna return that. Keep these till another day. Hello, today is only Tuesday. I have another crazy update. Oh my god, I'm freaking out. Stop. Another crazy update. It's lunchtime. I'm coming back from lunch, but my boss, who's the warehouse manager, who I think I have to know gets steamrolled by our boss every single week, and told that he's not good enough, and that all comes into the context. Also, he has a mother that's dying in the hospital, and so he was like, we have to inventory all these insoles and put them into boxes. And I was like, okay, cool. And so I started doing that. I probably did that for the entire morning, and then it was like 11 o'clock. So I went to the other office and I was like, hey, how come there's no online orders? If we're gonna get them out, we need to get them out today. And they're like, oh, well, I have this one order, but the other orders are just kind of like delayed, so they're not gonna get there until the afternoon, blah, blah, blah. But also, can you check the inventory for me for this thing? I was like, yeah, sure, I'll call you or I'll email you. I get back and I start doing that, and then he comes with a full head of steam out of nowhere. It was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you can't just walk around here like you own the place and do your own shit. This is, like, I don't know who you think you are. Like, just he just, like, full on verbally attacked me. And I was like, what the fuck? Where did this come from? You know, I assign you to do this one task, and then you can't just leave and go do whatever you want. And so I was like, this is what I'm doing, this is why I'm doing it. But he's like, I don't care. And he's like, I want you to do this right now, do it right now, and stop doing whatever else you're doing. And I was like, whoa, okay, wow, that was a lot right there. So I just stopped talking and then put my headphones in and just started doing what he wanted me to do. But it took me like about 20 minutes for me to figure out what the argument was really about, or what the confrontation was really about, which was this lack of control that he keeps coming back to in his heart. Every single frustration conversation that he says and brings out into the world is this feeling of being helpless and not being heard at work, not being listened to. And like I said a couple weeks before, he does not like anyone else's input on any other projects or any other way how to do it. He wants his way done, and that is the only way that is accepted. And it goes as far as like, hey, this is what I've been hearing. We're gonna have a shipment come in sometime this week. He's like, I don't believe you. I'm like, okay, that's what I heard. So at that, like, as of a couple weeks ago, I just stopped telling him, because I'm like, well, what's the point? You're just gonna argue with me anyway. So he brought that up and was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on in this place anymore, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you can go have conversations with the people you need to get caught up to speed, but obviously I'm not the person that's going to be communicating with you because you don't listen to me. And so that's where it kind of ended. But in my head, I'm like, man, this guy needs to apologize, because that was incredibly inappropriate. It was not very productive, and it was very macho, like, you have to do what I say because I say so, and you have to do it this way because I say so. And it is exactly like how he gets talked to from the person above him. So I see this like parallel relationship where he gets shitted on and then he passes it down the line. So I'm prepared to, the next time he's trying to have a conversation with me, just be like, I don't want to have a conversation until we go through what happened and you apologize. So that's what I'm walking into right now. We'll see how it goes. All right, I just finished work. Let's see, are we still live? We are live. All right, just finished work. It's still Tuesday. Let me double check. Yep, still Tuesday. And I had a lot of time to reflect and figure out what the best course of action was for the situation. And I noticed a couple things. So when I went back to work after lunch, I had a comedy podcast on called We're Here to Help. And so I was listening to it. It was so funny and so like just out of there that I was laughing, I was smiling, I was like having a really good time listening to this podcast and working. And I noticed out of the corner of my eye how unhappy my manager was. He was so upset that I wasn't upset. And every time I smiled and laughed, he would like turn his head and frown at me, like, you're not supposed to be happy. And so I realized that, one, I don't know if I guess I made the assumption that he is at the maturity level and at the mental space capacity to be able to have a conversation about, this is how I'm feeling, this is the situation that happened, I'm sorry I overreacted, blah, 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 blah. I don't think he's there yet. I don't think he's at that level of maturity where I could have had a conversation about it in the moment. And so what I decided to do was write an email. Part of it's like cover my ass email. So if anything happens in the future, I can go back to this email and say, hey, this is what happened. This is my firsthand account. This is what I sent to him and it never got resolved, or it did get resolved, or this situation happened and this is a retaliation for what happened. So I'm really just trying to like cover my ass. So I'm going to write that email and then like shut it down, because I think I've made peace with it, of like, that situation was not about me. If anything, it was kind of the opposite. It is, I am so strong and independent by myself that I'm threatening to other people that are in leadership, because they look at me and they go, fuck, if he can do what I did, then he could take my job. And I've seen that time and time again in my career. And this is just like another example of that, where I can be so independent and I can get my shit done and I can keep adding more things onto my plate, that some people only view it as taking it away from their plate. And they get extremely scared, they get extremely defensive, they cannot cope with taking away power on their side. Whereas I had the absolute privilege of working for people that welcomed that and that supported that and that pushed me to do more of that. Whereas in my head, I'm used to like that type of support, that type of love, that type of motivation, whereas the rest of the world is not like that. And it takes me time and mistakes for me to have that realization, because I want to believe that people are thinking about the best about me. I want to think that people want to support me and want to see me grow. But at the end of the day, sometimes people just aren't there yet, and I have to accept that, and I have to, I guess, be better at anticipating that. And because this is like a stepping on toes situation, it could have closed the door if it was someone that was more connected in the world. Like, it could have had worse ramifications than it actually did. So it's pretty good that I learned this lesson in such a small scale with such a miniature problem. And so I'm still going to go to Run Club. I'm going to write this email, take Atlas out. It's been raining out all day, and it's kind of gross. So I'm going to write this email, and then I'm going to shut that shit down and then go to Run Club. So I went to the Dark Side Collective, and then after I went to Bark City Barbecue, and then wasabi sushi, just because I thought this wasn't gonna fill me up. Here's Pep. I just went back home to eat it. Okay, and then I also have laundry going because I don't have sheets. Skeet. Hi, vlog. Today is Saturday. I had an extremely productive day because I didn't sleep in. So I met one of my brother's dads, who was an ex-Nike guy, designer, developer type innovation person. Had a really good conversation. Moral of the story is that I am mentally moving on from trying to be in the footwear industry, and I'm just trying to find a job with some sort of like design development aspect in it. It might be at Daimler Trucks, it might be at SpaceX, it might be at some other job, but right now those are my two leads of like, I know people that I could have like a leg up versus just like cold doing shit like I have in footwear, like that hasn't been working. I would rather just have a new job. I'm tired of fucking applying to shit and then getting denied because of an internal candidate. Like, the game is rigged and it is what it is, so I'm hoping that I can get something else going. What else did I do? I went to Best Buy after that, and then I went home, hung out with Atlas, and applied to a bunch of jobs, and then reached out to a bunch of old contacts, and then I, what else did I do? Then I played golf. Didn't hit very well, putted pretty good, then came back, and then just like that, sun went down. I brought Atlas along tonight for dinner. I got C-Sweets, which I'm not sure if you can see. You grabbed a little lick. Get out. Because I noticed they weren't doing well before, and I wanted to come back and support them. And I don't know what my night's gonna bring me, but I just want to hang out with Atlas at the end of the day. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. But without further ado, I'll talk to you later. First time I think ever that Chick-fil-A's like messed up an order. I got strips and they gave me nuggets. Yes, I did get 2 meals in a row. Someone literally sold to CarMax a first-gen Corvette C8, the new Stingray. Look, that is crazy. And they don't even have a price tag on it, so it's probably a shit ton. Look, carbon fiber on the buckets and the engine. Oh my god. Fuck. Alright, let me just round up. I just finished editing the vlog. And I wanted to add a clip in to give you more context. So that situation that happened on Tuesday where my manager came up to me and was like, I don't know who the fuck you think you are. You don't own the place, blah, 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 blah. You can't go do whatever the fuck you want to do, etc., etc. I wrote an email that was basically this is the date that happened, this is the time that happened, this is what happened before, this is what happened during, these are the words that were exchanged between him, and then this is what I did in response, this is what happened after, and then this is what I would like to have happen in the future if this ever comes up again. I would rather it be constructive. I'd rather be came to and asked for empathy, or asked like, hey, I see that this situation is happening, this is really frustrating to me, I want us to be constructive together to solve this problem, versus like, you are a piece of shit and you don't know what the fuck is wrong with you because you need to be put in your place, etc., etc. So I sent that email off on Tuesday night at like 5 o'clock. I know he read it. I just sent it to him, but I know he read it. And then he texted me and said like, hey, I'm going to come in at 10. Let's square some stuff off. And then I'm going down to be with my mom because she's in the hospital again. I was like, okay. And the conversation, he was very skittish and guilty feeling, like he was trying to be quiet and not take up a lot of space. And so I kind of like pushed beyond it, and every time I communicate with people from now on, this is kind of like, this is just the latest thing that's happened at this current job type of context when I give it to them, of like, this is what I'm going through week to week. These are the people that I'm around. This is the type of job, that, like, work environment that I'm in. And I think universally, everyone I talk to is like, get the fuck out of there. Like, if you have to like work retail, or if you have to move back home, like there's some things that are just like, you know, like, I guess finding the line. Some people are like, just get out of there, and then you can find a job later, or like find a job when you're out of the situation. Other people are like, let's stick it out, and like, if you can outlast it, then let's outlast it. So I got a pretty wide range of what people would do in my situation. But I reached out to my friend at SpaceX to see about a job there. I reached out to my contacts at Daimler Trucks, which back in 2022, when I was graduating college, I got pretty far in the interview process. And then I think it came down to the question, why do you want to work there? And I was like, shit, I can't really lie. Like, I don't want to work there. Like, it's like whatever, but like, this is not the career I want. I want to work in footwear. I want to do apparel. I want to make stuff, like soft goods. And so I think, because I didn't have an answer for them and I didn't want to lie to their face, I just was like, I don't know. I'm just graduating college. I want to have a job. I want to be given the opportunity, and that wasn't good enough for them. So fast forward to 2024, I'm hoping that they will give me another opportunity. I think that I have a lot more experience and a lot more perspective, and I think I have a little bit of different motivation now, where it's like, I used to have this dream of working in the footwear industry, but at the end of the day, I think I just want to work on with a good team, with people that I enjoy being around, that work hard, and working on a design project or development project that positively impacts the world. I think that's what I could like fall back on. Whereas before I was like, I don't know, I just love shoes and I want to work on shoes and I want to make shoes. And like, at the end of the day, I have so much more motivation for shoes than anything else, that I can withstand terrible work environments. If there's light at the end of the tunnel, I can like get my licks, or get hit in the face and get back up. I don't know what metaphor you'd want to use, but I would be able to outlast toxic environments or terrible situations if I was in footwear, because of how much I love it. And I think this situation right now is goes to show, like, I'm still in this position right now, and I haven't quit 60 days in, when I knew that it wasn't going to work out and that it was only going to go downhill from there, because it's extremely important to have this like work experience on my resume, to prove that I have put in the work and that I've done all this development, and to set me up for the future. And I think if this was like another industry, I would have been like, bye-bye. So that was
that's part of it. That happened this week. I spent a lot of time with Atlas. And what else did I do? Friday night, I went to a store and then got food. That barbecue place was super oily. Like, it's kind of gross because it reminded me of this thing called a sous vide. It's like where you cook meat in a bag at like a constantly warm temperature. It's not like a grill where it's like 300, 400 degrees. But you cook it over a longer time and then it cooks from the outside in. And then you can save it for a lot longer, and then you can sear it when you're right before you're about to serve, which is what a lot of restaurants do for meat. And I feel like they put so much oil in it that like I didn't really taste any of the meat. And yes, it like fell off the bone, and yes, it was tender, but like it was kind of gross to like chew because it was so like squishy and like moist that it didn't feel real. It didn't feel like tenderness. It felt like they just like coated on oil to make it like more moist, when in fact it was actually really dry. And so I had most of it, but it kind of grossed me out. And I wouldn't go back there. Man, it's hard to find a barbecue place. I mean, that one place that I had like last week or the week before in Hood River last Friday was such good tri-tip. Man, I will probably end up driving 45 minutes to go there again. I think that's all I got this week. I'm hoping to hear back and start getting leads for a job in a different industry. And I'm hoping to make it through the week. I've been dealing with this groin like strain that happened like 2 weeks ago, and then I kept using it and kept running on it anyway, and it got worse. And so I've been like trying to rest it as best as I can to try to heal it and make it so I can continue to run. I'm kind of worried about that. I might end up skipping run club Tuesday and Thursday just to heal it, just so I don't pull it. Well, actually, this week is Thanksgiving, this next week, so I'll be going on a hike on Thanksgiving, which is Alice and I's tradition. So yeah, I guess that's what you get to expect on next week's vlog. Talk to you later. Let's go. This is like 2 weeks after I ordered it that I finally am getting this stuff, which is crazy. White socks. Completely different knit styles from one to the other, even though I thought they were supposed to be the same. Look at this design. So one is like a Y, and then that one is just black, nothing on the back, just Y3 on the front. Completely different like knit texture on the front and the back than this one. Very interesting. Front, back, different cut, everything. Huh. You still alive? Still alive.